10 साल में मैंने फॉरेन ब्रांड्स को एप्पल्स टू एप्पल्स रिप्लेस किए विद इंडियन ब्रांड्स एंड ऐसा नहीं था कि आई चोज अ चीपर प्रोडक्ट, अ वर्स प्रोडक्ट, आई चोज अ मिल प्रोडक्ट.
Welcome to the best episode of JIIFcast. With us today is one of the most powerful voices of the D2C world.
आई थिंक वो जमाना था जब D2C बिजनेस वर अलाउड टू बर्न मनी एंडलेसली. चांसेस आके अगर P&L ठीक नहीं है और ठीक नहीं हो रहा है और एंटरप्रेन्योर को इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं है P&L ठीक करने में, दे आर लाइक नहीं बर्न करते रहेंगे, ब्रांड बनाते रहेंगे, फिर कभी कभी लाइफ में प्रॉफिटेबल होगा तो आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड. लास्ट 12 साल में इंडिया हैज हैड अ सी चेंज. जब मैंने बिजनेस स्टार्ट की थी तो 100 करोड़ मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ा माइलस्टोन था कि यार 100 करोड़ तक पहुंचेंगे तो कैसे पहुंचेंगे और कैसे होगा. एंड वी रीच 1 करोड़, वी वर सो एक्साइटेड, राइट. अभी आप कोई भी फाउंडर के साथ बात करो, वो 100 करोड़ ऐसे ही बोल देता है. एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि खाली बोल रहा है, पहुंच भी जाते हैं.
VCs chase growth, then VCs chase value, and now over the last few years we are seeing people want growth, but at a decent value. There has to be some sustainability.
People have said that we are only creating these consumer products, delivery products, etc., all of that. But पैसा कौन देगा? And that risk appetite of saying यार हम कर लेंगे. And maybe it's some wealthy people that need to come together, maybe it's government support, but the whole ecosystem needs to come together to be able to give those Indian entrepreneurs the ability to take those risks. Scratching the surface, people say, आपने 100 से ज़्यादा companies में angel invest किया, so what? In that time, there were like 2 lakh startups created, right?
JIIFcast by Jito Incubation and Innovation Foundation, powered by Blue Sky FinTech. And I'm your host today, Rajat. I am Rajat Mehta. I am into financial services, broking, investment banking, wealth management, VC, and NBFC. With us today is one of the most powerful voices of the D2C world. Our guest needs no introduction. He's Arjun Vaidya, my dear friend. Thanks, Arjun, for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you, JIIF and Jito, for dragging 2 South Bombay boys all the way here on a Sunday. But that's our commitment to Jito and JIIF. Absolutely. As proud Jains. Absolutely. And I remember the first time I came to a Jito event at Sahara Star. They didn't know I was Jain.
Yeah, none of us did actually.
And then I said, are you calling me to all these events because I'm Jain? And the moment they found out I'm Jain, the love that I've got from Jito has been amazing.
So Arjun, we've seen your journey. Some of us have seen it more closely. Some of us have seen you and heard you on the platforms, the social media platforms. And it's been an interesting one. I'm sure it's not been, one way up or a hockey stick. It's gone through its fair share of ups and downs. आपने, अपने जो journey है उसमें सब देखा होगा. And apart from just what you did at Dr. Vaidya's, now what you're doing, and you're constantly reinventing yourself. Did you think कि कुछ ऐसे पल थे, ऐसे समय था, ऐसा situation थी, where instead of taking a call for your startup or your business, you felt that personally ये बहुत risky हो सकता है? We'd like to know more than just, about the journey of Dr. Vaidya's.
Entrepreneur के journey में, entrepreneur के life में, and everyone's life, you have those moments where you take a very large risk, right? I remember मैं विराज बैल के साथ बात कर रहा था. He's the founder of Viva. Viva is one of the largest sauces company and salad dressing company in the country. And he said कि जब मैंने Viva start किया था तो मेरे पास पैसा नहीं था, तो मैंने मेरा घर बेच दिया. And ऐसे ही घर बेच दिया और वहाँ से startup capital निकाल के company start किया. Now, he said, thinking about that decision at that time, I thought it was a crazy decision, right? Just sell my house and then put my family pretty much at risk. But I thought it was at that time the right thing to do. And I asked him, अगर आप वापस करते तो would you take that decision? He said, absolutely not. I don't have that risk appetite. But at that time it was the right decision, and that risk led him to start the company. So I think from my experience, my journey, मैंने 2 बहुत बड़े risk लिए in life, right? The first risk that I took was जब मैं 25 साल का था तो actually college के बाद मुझे बहुत अच्छी job मिली थी. I was an analyst at a fund called L Carrington. So I graduated college.
As the LVMH.
Which is the private equity arm of the Louis Vuitton Hennessy Group. Large fund, more than $1 billion AUM, etc. All of that. I graduated from Brown University at 22. मैंने business की पढ़ाई नहीं की थी. I studied economics and politics. And मुझे बिजनेस साइड ऑफ ब्रांड्स में काम करना था और मेरी ड्रीम कंपनी थी LVMH ग्रुप. आई मैनेज टू गेट अ इंटर्नशिप एट दिस फंड. दे सेड कि हम तो पहले लाइक आउट ऑफ अंडरग्रेड लोगों को लेते नहीं है और आपने बिजनेस भी नहीं पढ़ा है, आपने PNL भी कभी लाइफ में नहीं देखा है, तो हम आपको इंटर्नशिप देंगे. एंड 40,000 रुपये की इंटर्नशिप थी. आफ्टर माई पेरेंट्स हैड स्पेंड 2 CR ऑन माई एजुकेशन. सो इट वॉज लाइक अ वेरी सैड आउटकम फॉर मी एंड आई डिसाइडेड टू कम टू इंडिया. एंड आई थिंक द बिग रिस्क एट दैट टाइम वॉज कि आपको भी याद होगा 2012, 13, 14 वो ज़माने में लाइक इवन अ लॉट ऑफ योर फ्रेंड्स वुड हैव स्टडीड अब्रॉड एंड मोस्ट ऑफ माई फ्रेंड्स एट दैट टाइम सेड कि हमें US में रहना है, कि UK में रहना है, कि ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रहना है, कि हांगकॉन्ग में रहना है, बिकॉज वहाँ की जॉब, वहाँ की अपॉर्चुनिटीज़, वहाँ का सैलरी इंडिया से बहुत ज़्यादा है, राइट. बट दैट टाइम आई टुक अ मैसिव रिस्क टू से कि 2013 में मुझे ऐसा लगा कि इंडिया में स्कोप है, इंडिया में फ्यूचर है, बट मुझे 100% ये श्योरिटी थी कि मैं मेरी जो लाइफ है वो इंडिया में बनने वाली है. तो आई वॉज हैविंग अ चैट विद माई डैड एंड ही सेड कि अगर आप 4 साल वहाँ US में पढ़ाई कर रहे हो एंड आई हैड द बेस्ट 4 years ऑफ माई लाइफ, आई हैड द ग्रेटेस्ट टाइम, देन आप 2-3 साल वहाँ काम करेंगे, फिर आप 2 साल MBA करेंगे, 9-10 साल बाद आप इंडिया वापस आएंगे तो यू विल कम एज एन NRI.
Correct.
You will complain about the pollution, you will complain about the roads, you will complain about the red tape, you will complain about everything, right?
Correct.
अगर आपको इंडिया में बिजनेस करना है तो आपको इंडिया में बिजनेस सीखना होगा. तो at that time a massive risk I took was I didn't apply for a single job in the US. I didn't even try. ऐसे मेरे सब दोस्त रिक्रूटिंग कर रहे थे, मैं तो चिल कर रहा था बिकॉज मुझे पता था मुझे इंडिया आना था.
Very clear.
So I left everything in the US and 2013 I came back to India and I would say at that time it seemed like a crazy decision because मेरे सब दोस्त 90% of my friends were staying in the US or staying in UK or staying in Europe somewhere. जॉब ले रहे थे कि $100,000 का सैलरी मिलता है पर ईयर, $150,000 का सैलरी मिलता है पर ईयर, लाइक एंड आई वॉज अर्निंग 40,000 रुपीज़, राइट. इट्स लाइक नथिंग. एंड मैंने इंटर्नशिप लिया, मुझे जॉब भी नहीं मिली पर मैंने इंटर्नशिप लिया. बट देन आई थिंक इवेंचुअली दैट डिसीजन पैंड आउट टू बी अ ग्रेट डिसीजन बिकॉज आई इवेंचुअली कन्वर्टेड टू अ फुल टाइम जॉब. ये बहुत प्रेस्टिजियस फंड थी. वी वर इन्वेस्टर्स इन फैब इंडिया, वी वर इन्वेस्टर्स इन PVR. बट वो बिजनेस कार्ड एंड वो समय मेरा इंटर्न का बिजनेस कार्ड था, तो उन्होंने कुछ नहीं लिखा बिजनेस कार्ड पे, जस्ट सेड अर्जुन वैद्य द कंपनीज नेम बिकॉज दे डिडंट वांट टू से कि ये इंटर्न है. तो वो बिजनेस कार्ड से आई मेट द बेस्ट एंटरप्रेन्योर्स इन इंडिया अक्रॉस कार्स, बाइक्स, अपैरल, रिटेल, वाइन, स्पिरिट्स, वॉचेस, ज्वेलरी, एनीवन जो 100 करोड़ के ऊपर था. मैं ईमेल लिखता था, दे वुड ऑल मीट मी बिकॉज हम $30-40 मिलियन के चेक्स लिखते थे. तो आई थिंक दैट एक्सपोजर वॉज आउटस्टैंडिंग. आई थिंक उसके बाद जो सेकेंड बड़ा रिस्क मैंने लिया था वो 2016 में था. अभी मैंने जब 40,000 रुपये से स्टार्ट की थी तो इवेंचुअली 6 महीने बाद सो आई रैन e-commerce इन्वेस्टिंग एट दैट फंड एंड दे सेड आप e-commerce देखो बिकॉज हमने इन US में देखा है और वी डिडंट इन्वेस्ट, चाइना में देखा है और वी डिडंट इन्वेस्ट, इंडिया में कुछ हो रहा है तो आप देख लो. एंड द फर्स्ट कंपनी दैट आई हैड टू evaluate, that I had to see was Myntra.
Oh, wow.
So in 2013 my boss asked me, you think Indians will buy clothes, shoes, pants online? And I was like, not sure, but we can see it. And I got to meet Mukesh Bansal, right? And that started the journey of me becoming the e-commerce expert for the fund. So they gave me a full-time job eventually. And at 24 in 2015-16, I was earning 30 lakhs per annum. 30 lakhs per annum at that time means 1 crore, 1.5 crores today. Right?
Correct.
With
Absolutely.
sort of inflation, etc. So 30 lakhs was a lot. I was doing better than most of my friends, most of my peers, etc. who were in India.
And you were back
not abroad. And I was back home and I was living with my parents and having a great time, right? But then my dada passed. And हमारी परिवार में जो 150 साल की आयुर्वेदा की परंपरा है, it had skipped my dad's generation already. My dad is in the jewelry and watch business. So my dada had cured me of asthma and made him a promise I'll do something with his legacy. And I just felt some calling that मैं 25 साल का हूँ और मेरे दादा ने ये बिजनेस, ये लेगेसी एंड जो हमारी फैमिली का नाम है, राइट, माई लास्ट नेम इज वैद्या. वैद्या मीन्स आयुर्वेदिक डॉक्टर. आई हैव टू डू समथिंग विद दिस. एंड सो आई लेफ्ट दैट 30 lakh rupee salary and entered an industry where everybody was older than me, more experienced than me and had better products than me, right? Like, or more customer love and more customer appreciation. And I remember my dadi saying, yeah, it's my husband's legacy and I'm very proud that you're taking it forward. But you got to be crazy living a 30 lakh rupee salary. And जब आप salary, हर महीना salary आता है तो you get used to that salary and that comfort of that salary. The first month I didn't get that salary, it hit me, yaar, I'm 25 years old and I'm earning nothing. But I think मैं बहुत entrepreneurs के साथ बात करता हूँ as a VC right now. And a lot of them who are senior execs at big startups earning good money, they say कि यार मैं ये साइड गिग कर रहा हूँ स्टार्टअप, मैं जॉब भी कर रहा हूँ, और जब ये स्टार्टअप बड़ा बनेगा तो मैं जॉब छोड़ूंगा. And we had this circumstance with the company right now. We were maybe 6 months ago we were looking to invest, and no disrespect to the founder, but एक founder, we liked the idea, we liked the company, and then one founder said कि मुझे 50 लाख का सैलरी चाहिए. So I said भाई तूने कंपनी स्टार्ट भी नहीं किया है तो 50 लाख का सैलरी तो नहीं होगा, हम 4 करोड़ ही डाल रहे हैं कंपनी में, तो you cannot take 12% of that in your first year as salary. It doesn't make sense. He said no, but I need this money because I have responsibilities, etc. all of that, and eventually we couldn't do that deal because the problem with entrepreneurship, the reality of entrepreneurship, you have to rip off the band-aid.
Correct.
अगर करना है तो रिस्क लेना होगा
100%.
और सैलरी छोड़ना होगा, and you will have tough times and nobody talks about this enough, but you have to rip off that band-aid. So I think not staying in the US at that time when I graduated from college was a massive risk, but it paid off huge dividends. And then leaving my job, and I remember my boss at the time as well, great guy, I'm still very close to me. Before I was leaving, the day I was leaving, he said, boss, मैं रिप्लेसमेंट हायर कर रहा हूँ, मैं लास्ट चांस दे रहा हूँ, आर यू श्योर यू वांट टू गो? एंड आई सेड यस, आई एम लीविंग.
Oh, it's wonderful. Very interesting. So I think one thing that I'll take from whatever we discussed just now is you mentioned that you were very clear मुझे इंडिया आना है. So let us drive this conversation today. आज इस conversation को अपन भारत 2030 पे फोकस करते हैं. Because I think decoding that and what you've been doing, you've been seeing startups as a VC, as somebody who interacts with so many family offices, you in yourself is somebody who looks at so many deals and invests in so many deals. Your outlook for the next, Viksit Bharat 2047 or Bharat 2030, let us dwell more into that. And because you made the choice back in 2013 to come to India, I mean, it was a gutsy call. Most of my friends went to the US universities and the global universities around the same time. And everybody said, we'll be here, at least, whatever we've spent on our education, let us focus on, recovering that from working here, experiencing whatever. You had this clarity that Bharat 2030, Bharat, Viksit Bharat, India is the place to be. What is it that you see are the biggest sort of positives for India at this point in time, and some of the negatives? Because obviously it's just not always positive or just not always negatives.
So I think last 12 साल में India has had a sea change, right? Let's talk about what has happened. I think एक बहुत बड़ा positive ये है, which I guess जब आप जीते हो and you're living it, right, you don't notice it. But we grew up in the 90s. We knew the India of the 90s. We were apologetically Indian as people, right? कि like कोई पूछता था आप कहाँ से हो, हम ऐसे, yeah, we are from India, like that, right? We're not proud to be Indian. We're not wearing it on our sleeve. हाँ, मैं तो गुजराती हूँ, मैं तो मारवाड़ी हूँ, पर मैं इंडिया से भी हूँ, ऐसे, right? I remember जब मैं कॉलेज में था, तो I was studying politics. The Indian ambassador of the UN came to our college, and I was doing a class on Indian politics and stuff. So I went for the talk. She was giving a talk. Right? I asked her, ma'am, हमारे देश में तो more than 1 billion people है. They're like 1/6, 1/7 of the world's population. आप UN में बैठते हो, हमारी तो सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल की सीट नहीं है. और जब आप UN में, जब हम कोई भी ग्लोबल फोरम में बात करते हो, तो we talk as if we are a country of 10 million people, right? We are India. We are one of the biggest, we should be the loudest voice in the room. पर हमेशा पीछे बैठते हैं, तमीज़ से बात करते हैं. If someone takes us for a ride, we get taken for a ride. So that's not acceptable, right? And at that time in 2010 or 11 it was, she said, I'm shocked you're saying this. You don't understand soft power. You don't have to bang your fist on the table, etc. All of that, right? And I started thinking, yaar, hum India hai, right? We should be proud to be Indian. So a clear memory for me of my childhood was being gifted a Japanese electronic sharpener for my 11th birthday from a store that only sold imported products by my dadi, because imported was good and Indian jo tha wo substandard tha. That is a massive change, right? Like 2016 mein I ran the half marathon, right? That was my first half marathon in India. I was wearing a Adidas tee, Nike shorts, Under Armour के underwear, ये Asics के जूते और कोई socks, right? Some brand of socks. I ran the half marathon last Sunday.
Absolutely.
मैं Teractive का टी-शर्ट पहन रहा था, कावा के shorts, Tribe के underwear, Notch Merch के socks और Brooks के shoes, but bought from Selection Sports, which is the India distributor of Brooks. So, and Fasten Up के running gel, and bearwear ke whatever those nipple pasties so that there's no chafing etc. all of that, and Care Smith ka recovery etc. all of that. तो it's like 10 साल में मैंने foreign brands को apples to apples replace किए with Indian brands, and ऐसा नहीं था कि I chose a cheaper product, a worse product, but I chose an Indian product. मैं मेरे रनिंग से बहुत सीरियस हूँ. मैं मैराथन करता हूँ तो मुझे अच्छा टाइम चाहिए.
There's no compromise there.
There's no compromise there. I will only use a product that's meeting the standard. So पहला पॉइंट ये है कि बहुत बड़ा चेंज ये हुआ है कि वी आर प्राउड टू कंज्यूम इंडियन प्रोडक्ट्स, वी आर प्राउड टू बी इंडियन, एंड हम बाहर जाके हमारी इंडियन आइडेंटिटी को खुशी से बोलते हैं, विच वी डिडंट डू इन द पास्ट, राइट. द सेकेंड थिंग आई वुड से विच इज अ बिग चेंज इज कि जब मैंने बिजनेस स्टार्ट की थी तो 100 करोड़ मेरे लिए एक बहुत बड़ा माइलस्टोन था कि यार 100 करोड़ तक पहुंचेंगे तो कैसे पहुंचेंगे और कैसे होगा, एंड व्हेन वी रीच 1 करोड़ वी वर सो एक्साइटेड, राइट. अभी आप कोई भी फाउंडर के साथ बात करो वो 100 करोड़ ऐसे ही बोल देता है, एंड ऐसा नहीं है कि खाली बोल रहा है, पहुंच भी जाते हैं.
Correct.
So I think the startup ecosystem, the startup world, the confidence towards the startup world, startup India, all of this has contributed towards it. But there is a massive confidence in being an Indian entrepreneur, saying मैं कर पाऊंगा. And मैं क्यों कर पाऊंगा? Because मैंने 10 लोगों को देखे हैं, उन सब ने IPO कर लिए है, इतना वैल्यू क्रिएट कर लिया है, फॉरेन इन्वेस्टर्स ने उनको बैक किया और उनको भी आउटकम मिला है, राइट. सो देयर इज अ एंटायर मैच्योरिटी ऑफ द SMEs in India to dream big and to think big, right? Like when I started my business, I didn't even think कि IPO हो सकता है भाई.
Correct.
Thought भी नहीं था. अभी हमने 30-40 startup IPOs देखे हैं.
Absolutely.
And a lot of them have started at similar times to us, right? 2016 when I started my business, Mama started at the same time. Of course, they did much better than me, but an entrepreneur today is thinking, यार मैं भी IPO कर सकता हूँ, मैं भी यूनिलीवर को कंपनी बेच सकता हूँ, क्यों नहीं, राइट. मिनिमलिस्ट ने बेच दिया कंपनी यूनिलीवर को. So I think that confidence of being an entrepreneur is massive in India. I think हमारे देश में 2 बड़े problems भी हैं, right? Massive issues, I would say. एक तो है चलता है attitude, right? We still have it in India. मुंबई बहुत प्रोग्रेस कर रहा है, कोस्टल रोड आया है हमारे सिटी में, मेट्रो आया है, we are talking about using the metro. I love the metro, right? I think it's an amazing thing for our city. हमने मेट्रो का काम अभी सालों से चल रहा है हमारे शहर में, फाइनली आ गया है.
Correct.
अभी भी मेट्रो का काम चल रहा है.
Correct.
जहाँ मेट्रो स्टेशन खड़ा भी किया, वहाँ भी काम अभी तक चल रहा है मेट्रो स्टेशन पे. आई डोंट नो क्या चल रहा है, बट चल रहा है, राइट. एंड इट्स कॉज्ड मैसिव ट्रैफिक जैम इन द सिटी एक्सेट्रा. बट लेट्स टेक द मेट्रो. आई लव द मेट्रो. It feels like you're sitting in a Singapore metro or you're sitting in a London tube. It's better than a London tube, etc. All of that, right? ये सब है. कल मैं मेट्रो में जा रहा था with my wife and my daughter. We had gone to Cuff Parade for someone's birthday party, and my daughter said, "I want to use the metro. I don't want to go in the car."
Fantastic.
So it was a great feeling for me. So I said, "Sure." My wife is saying, "नहीं use करना." I said, "There's a lift in the metro. Don't worry, because she's pregnant. We'll go down in the lift and we'll go in the metro." नीचे गए हम मेट्रो में. मेरे पास वो मेट्रो कार्ड है, राइट. अभी मेट्रो कार्ड को रिचार्ज करना है तो आप ऑनलाइन रिचार्ज कर सकते हो. यू कैन रिचार्ज द मेट्रो कार्ड ऑनलाइन, बट यू हैव टू गो. नो, बट यू कैन रिचार्ज इट ऑनलाइन आउटसाइड द मेट्रो स्टेशन, बट यू हैव टू गो टू द कस्टमर केयर एंड वैलिडेट दैट रिचार्ज. इफ द गाय इज देयर, नॉट देयर. फिर मैं गया वहां, रिचार्ज वैलिडेट किया, तो ही टुक 10 minutes to restart his computer and then he validated the recharge. So you cannot recharge your card without validation, right?
Correct.
So that was one bottleneck. Second bottleneck is I thought कि मेरे कार्ड पे 3 लोग जा सकते हैं, मेरे कार्ड पे 3 लोग नहीं जा सकते, which I didn't know. So I said, okay, मुझे पास लेना है. फिर I got through, and then for my wife and my kid I said I'll have to buy a pass. No network in the metro station, so they have no cash because अभी हमारे देश में UPI इतना आगे बढ़ा है कि कोई कैश ही नहीं यूज करता है.
Correct.
तो कैश नहीं है. अगर कैश नहीं है तो आप रिचार्ज कैसे करेंगे? तो he said go up. My pregnant wife has to go up few stairs to recharge or whatever, buy a pass on Mumbai One app and then come down. Then for a pregnant lady to go through the scanner is very bad, right? कोई provision ही नहीं है. I told him I don't want my wife to go through the scanner. He said मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता हूँ सर. फिर आप टैक्सी से घर जाना. Like unacceptable, right? So I think take this example. Take Geeta Gopinath at Davos has said that pollution is it's not just a health hazard, it's an economic hazard.
Absolutely.
18% of deaths in India every year happen because of pollution. What are we doing about it?
And also migration will happen because of this, right?
But what are we doing about it? And is it realistic? जो अमीर लोग हैं वो बोल सकते हैं कि like I was talking to a founder who comes from a wealthy background. She said I want to move to Karjat and build my startup out of Karjat. अमीर लोग कर सकते हैं.
Correct.
हमारा आउट हाउस है, बीच हाउस है, ये है, वो है. What will a non-wealthy person do? I ran the marathon in 220 AQI.
Yeah.
And that is better than 700 where people ran the Delhi marathon, right? Or the Delhi 10K or whatever that was. So, ये सब क्या है? Like, जब मैं लोगों के साथ पोल्यूशन के बारे में बात करता हूँ, like, अभी क्या कर सकते हैं? यही है हमारा सिचुएशन, इसमें ही रहेंगे, चलता है एटीट्यूड, right? That means that even though we have this metro creation, and we're almost there, we're 70% there, 80% there, nobody will ever consider us world class.
Yeah.
With our products, with our tech, with everything. If we want to be world class, we have to see it to the end. See it to the last mile. We don't see anything to the last mile, right? Abhi, when a foreigner comes to India and boards a flight from Bombay to Goa, and they are sitting in the 9th row, and people all get up before they are supposed to get up, and people crowd that person is shoved, and 3 bags fall on that person's head. Even if Digi Yatra is there in the airport and it's seamless and the airlines actually go on time and they actually get your bag. I went to Europe twice last year and twice my bag didn't come. ये सब होगा. So we have all these positives. But someone drops a bag on the head and they get injured. They'll say, I never want to go back to India. Right? So that last mile for us and that chalta hai attitude for us is unacceptable. And I would say, second thing is कि हमारे consumer startups में आप company start करो तो 3-5 करोड़ में start कर सकते हो. Right? You can do that. On the way here, I was hearing a pitch for a new age product in the in sports, right? Like a new app for non-live cricket broadcasting that involves the audience, etc. All of that. That app needs 50 CR to start. Similarly, I've had, and you've also had many deep tech, defense tech, space tech companies pitch to you. अगर ये 10-20 करोड़ में start हो सकता है ना, तो हम invest करते हैं. अगर 100, 200, 300 करोड़ की जरूरत है हमारे देश में, nobody can fund those companies. Correct. Right? And so, think about it. There are American AI companies that raise $500 million, $300 million on starting to start the idea. लोग बोलते हैं कि इंडिया में कोई AI कंपनी आ रहा ही नहीं है.
But where is the money?
डीप टेक कंपनी आ रही नहीं है. I mean, people have said that we are only creating these consumer products, delivery products, etc. all of that. But पैसा कौन देगा? अगर ये बंदा कोई क्रिकेट का प्रोडक्ट बना रहा है, उसको 50 करोड़ चाहिए स्टार्ट करने के लिए. I also told him, नहीं भाई मेरे से 50 करोड़ नहीं होंगे, मैं 7-8 करोड़ दे दूंगा, फिर आप देख लो आगे कैसे करना है. And that risk appetite of saying यार हम कर लेंगे. And maybe it's some wealthy people that need to come together, maybe it's government support, but the whole ecosystem needs to come together to be able to give those Indian entrepreneurs the ability to take those risks. I think these are two challenges with our economy that we need to solve going forward.
So I think risk capital ke liye to I think JIIFcast is solving a large problem. At JIIFcast Incubation, we have incubated over 100 plus startups.
And this is a JIIFcast incubating
Yes, absolutely. And our angel network is helping so many more startups, almost 150 plus startups getting funded. And thanks to investment committee people like you who keep supporting this entire initiative. So, we heard about, your clarity of thought process of coming to India, because India you knew was going to get somewhere. We've seen transformation over the last 10 years. We heard about your initial journey from, college to LVMH, the fund, La Catron, and then from there to Dr. Vaidya's. And now you're a very large figure, celebrated figure. You're actually, I read somewhere that you're the most followed VC on almost all social media platforms. And how do you do this? Every morning you wake up, you create good content with the same amount of energy, enthusiasm, and it not all of that really, gets you any kind of revenue. But you still do it every day because you're also like sort of creating so much positive environment for all the startups. What keeps you going, every day?
Rajat, actually, I used to create, and I still do create videos about business opportunities where I see gaps in the market. मेरी पहली जो वायरल रील थी जिसको 10 मिलियन व्यूज आए थे, वो एक रील थी ऑन द गैप इन द कॉफी मार्केट. आई सेड के चाय वाला और स्टारबक्स के बीच में बहुत जगह है or college kid cannot pay 350 rupees every day for a cappuccino.
Correct.
I can tell you at least 10 coffee companies have started. That reel was made in 2022 or 23. 10 coffee companies have started at 100 to 150 rupee price point. They have come to me and said, we saw your reel, it validated our idea, we started the company. Right? So, this validation is more validation than anything else in the world. कि यार जब मैंने कंपनी बेची थी तो I said कि अभी मेरे पास पैसा है, टाइम है और थोड़ा एक्सपर्टीज है. If I can use all of these things to create 100 Dr. Vaidyas, then I've done something. And that does not only mean मेरे पैसे से होगा. Maybe it can come through me sharing ideas. Maybe it can come through me opening opportunities for entrepreneurs. Maybe it can come to me through inspiring some entrepreneurs
Absolutely.
as well. I'm giving money. We've invested now, as a fund, V3 has invested more than 550 crores in the last 3 years in consumer startups. So, वो तो है. But उसके आगे भी कुछ करना है ना.
Correct.
It's not like I can support 10 companies a year from my fund.
Correct.
And 30-40 companies a year as an angel. 50 companies, 40 companies हमारे देश में क्या है? It's nothing, right?
Nothing.
Scratching the surface. People say, आपने 100 से ज़्यादा companies में angel invest किया. So what? In that time, there were like 2 lakh startups created, right?
Correct.
So, one is, of course, make investments for economic returns, etc. all that. But हमारे देश में इतने लोग हैं जो try कर रहे हैं, जिनको कुछ करना है, and they should feel some place to learn, to get ideas. Every time I put a video about a new business opportunity, thousands of people reach out to me and say, oh, I like that idea. Can I do that idea? They reach out to me saying, how do I do this idea? Can you advise me? Can you guide me, etc. all that. And पहले मुझे लगता था कि यार ये बहुत बेसिक आइडियाज मैं शेयर कर रहा हूँ. मेरी टीम मुझे बोल रही थी कि यार दिस इज लिटिल बिट लाइक बेसिक फॉर अ VC ऑफ योर स्टैचर टू बी शेयरिंग. सो आई सेड हाँ मे बी ऑलराइट. मैंने बंद किया. फ्रॉम एंड ऑफ December till now आई हैव स्टॉप्ड शेयरिंग दिस. राइट, 1 month I stopped sharing. I had a lawyer at a very reputed law firm tell me that I loved your video on coffee decoction. My wife and I are thinking of starting a small side business on it. Why you stop giving these ideas? And hundreds of people on my Instagram saying, "Bhai, हमें business ideas दे दो." तो I think the idea is that like it doesn't take me time, right? People assume that I'm in front of the camera every day recording videos, etc. I'll share here that most of my content on Instagram is actually AI generated.
Oh wow!
So I'm not shy of saying I use AI. Lots of people comment saying, why are you using AI? No, if I can create more videos and put more information out and leverage AI and make you want to consume that content, I'm totally okay using that content, right? How can I put out the most content across Instagram and LinkedIn? And my favorite platform is my broadcast channel on Instagram, which I write every single night before I go.
And I follow that every single night.
And I absolutely love it, right? So if I can create as much content, one to get entrepreneurs inspired, but also two, it's selfish, right? अभी आपको पता है ये VC industry में there are many VCs who have more money than me, more AUM than me, but most VCs have more experience than me. अगर मुझे एक VC के सामने खड़ा रहना है जिसके पास टीम में 30 लोग हैं और मेरी टीम में 3 लोग हैं, जिसके पास मेरे से 5 गुना पैसा है और 20 साल ज़्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है, तो मुझे कुछ तो अलग करना होगा.
Interesting.
And young entrepreneurs are not reading Live Mint anymore. They're not.
True that.
They're looking at Instagram, they're looking at LinkedIn, they're looking at Inc42, they're looking at your story. That's where they're getting the information. If I'm writing to a 23-year-old entrepreneur today and my Instagram got 40 million views last month, chances are they know who I am. So they'll reply to my message. My currency is कि अगर मैंने 10 messages cold भेजे entrepreneurs को तो 8 ने reply किया है तो I'm doing a good job.
Very interesting. So you're using the entire platform also as a soft marketing tool, which is obviously serves very well.
हम PR पे invest ही नहीं करते as a fund. PR करते ही नहीं है.
Absolutely.
क्यों चाहिए? अभी आपने Live Mint में कुछ press release किया है, and no disrespect to Live Mint, I mean any platform, 5,000 लोग देखेंगे, 10,000 लोग देखेंगे. मेरे LinkedIn post per week पे at least 500,000 views आते हैं.
Wow. That's the power of internet. So let's get back to D2C. Some D2C reality check. D2C founders सबसे ज़्यादा गलती कहाँ करते हैं? कस्टमर एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट ये एक ऑब्सेशन है, रिटेंशन इल्यूजन या स्केलिंग बिफोर फंडामेंटल्स आर स्टेबल. What are your views on these?
यार एक ज़माना था जब D2C नया था, and by the way D2C has changed its definition now. D2C stands for direct to consumer, but actually D2C just means a new age brand. Because हमारे D2C ब्रांड स्टोर्स खोल रहे हैं, हमारे D2C ब्रांड GT MT डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन में जा रहे हैं, हमारे D2C ब्रांड मार्केट प्लेस पे बेच रहे हैं, हमारे D2C ब्रांड आउट ऑफ इंडिया भी बेच रहे हैं. So it's not like they're only selling from their website. D2C now means a new age brand or a new age consumer brand or disruptive consumer brand. I think वो ज़माना था जब D2C business were allowed to burn money endlessly, right? And that was the early wave of D2C brands. And I also was allowed to burn more money than I should have been burning. अभी अगर मैं D2C brand की P&L देखता हूँ and I see this metric of CM3 being negative forever. And CM3 means after logistics, packaging, performance marketing and branding costs. If that number is negative for a long period of time, I cannot invest in this company. Because D2C business क्या है? फाइनली प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हो, उसका ग्रॉस मार्जिन है, उसका मार्केटिंग कॉस्ट है, और फिर आपको पैसा बनाना होगा ना. और अगर पहले ऑर्डर पे नहीं बना तो दूसरे तीसरे ऑर्डर पे बनाना होगा. So if the company is losing a lot of money on their first order and not able to get enough repeats to make themselves break even on the customer, चांसेस आके अगर P&L ठीक नहीं है और ठीक नहीं हो रहा है और एंटरप्रेन्योर को इंटरेस्ट भी नहीं है P&L ठीक करने में, दे आर लाइक नहीं बर्न करते रहेंगे, ब्रांड बनाते रहेंगे, फिर कभी कभी लाइफ में प्रॉफिटेबल होगा, तो आई एम नॉट इंटरेस्टेड. आई एम जेन्युइनली नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दैट कंपनी. मैंने एक कंपनी में इन्वेस्ट किया एज अ प्री सीड, राइट, एंड द फाउंडर केम विद अ बिजनेस प्लान टू मी एंड शी सेड कि ईयर 1 के बाद आपने 4-5 करोड़ हमें दिया है, कोई और इन्वेस्टर ने हमें 4-5 करोड़ दिया है, I'll have a minus 90% CM2. I said, I don't care about the number. कितना भी revenue कर रहे हो, I don't care about that. Your P&L has to be fine. That minus 90 can be minus 20, minus 25 at best. And that next year has to become 0 or 10 positive, right? So I think reality क्या है, हम product बेच रहे हैं. अगर हम product बेच रहे हैं तो P&L business है. हम कोई tech service नहीं बेच रहे.
Correct.
Kuku FM is one of my investments. वहाँ एक सर्विस प्रोडक्ट बेच रहे हैं जहाँ रिटेंशन हाई है, तो यू कैन लूज मनी, लॉट्स ऑफ मनी ऑन द फर्स्ट ऑर्डर, बट इफ द कस्टमर स्टेज विद यू फॉर 12 months, यू विल मेक मनी इफ दे पे एवरी मंथ. बट दैट इज नॉट अ शैम्पू और अ हेयर ऑयल और अ टी शर्ट और अ वॉच और अ पेयर ऑफ शूज और अ पेयर ऑफ सॉक्स और अ मैट्रेस. वहाँ तो P&L इज अ नॉर्मल कंज्यूमर FMCG P&L, राइट? सो आई थिंक where are founders making mistakes? They think investors will fund their P&L loss forever. That's one. Two, over dependence on Meta and Google ecosystems, right? Like I remember yesterday someone said D2C is not D2C, it's D2Z, direct to Zuckerberg. आप इन्वेस्टर का पैसा लेते हो, Zuckerberg को देते हो. I think लोग इसके बारे में बात नहीं कर रहे कि D2C brand need to have their own distribution. What do I mean by that? I mean कि अगर एक D2C brand ने मुझे बोला कि मेरे 40,000 फॉलोअर्स हैं, ऐसे ठीक है 40,000 फॉलोअर्स हैं, फिर मैंने उनके पोस्ट देखे और अपने ब्रांड के पोस्ट पे 1000 व्यू से कम आ रहे हैं, बट जब वो इन्फ्लुएंसर के साथ कोलैब करे तो 50,000 व्यूज आ रहे हैं. What brands don't understand is that influencer is lending their audience to you for that one post,
which may or may not convert.
It's like you're renting a sound system for the birthday party. बर्थडे पार्टी में गाना बजा, बर्थडे पार्टी के बाद आपने साउंड सिस्टम वापस दे दिया ना.
करेक्ट.
आपका नहीं है वो साउंड सिस्टम.
करेक्ट.
तो बर्थडे पार्टी के लिए जो 3 घंटे में मजा किया, वो मजा आपके दोस्तों ने देखा. They are happy with you, but that music system is not yours.
Correct.
You have to buy your own music system.
Correct.
If you want that music to keep playing.
Correct.
Right? And so, organic distribution, your own distribution, owning your audience is very crucial. And that's why brands like Whole Truth and Super You have done so well, because organic searches for the brand are very high.
Correct.
50% of products sold of Super You on quick commerce is Super You searches. Not protein bar, not wafer protein bar, not protein chips, not protein powder. It's Super You. People are searching Super You because the brand has been built like that, right?
Correct.
And that is the power of a brand. So I think these two things of over dependence on performance marketing instead of building your own brand, very, very important. And poor P&Ls will not get money anymore. It's not happening.
So we've seen, हमने मतलब हर टाइम पीरियड में देखा है, कभी VCs chase growth, then VCs chase value, and now over the last few years we are seeing people want growth but at a decent value. There has to be some sustainability. So I think how long before we see another sporadic chasing of either value or growth? या आपको लगता है अब ये न्यू नॉर्मल है? We will always respect कि अब ग्रोथ चाहिए, but it has to be at a value.
नहीं, मार्केट में साइकिल्स आते हैं.
करेक्ट.
और साइकिल्स जाते हैं. But as a consumer investor, my margin is very small. So what does that mean? That means that मैं कभी मैसिवली बर्निंग बिजनेस में इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर पाऊंगा और मैं कभी 20 टाइम्स सेल्स नहीं पे कर पाऊंगा कोई कंपनी के लिए. नहीं हो सकता, राइट? What happens in cycles? Today in this cycle, I may be paying 3 to 5 times sales for a consumer company that's early. In an up cycle, I may be paying 4 to 6 times sales. In a low cycle, I may be paying 2 to 4 times sales.
Correct.
So, वो margin थोड़ा ऊपर नीचे हिलता है.
Range हिल
but
जाएगा.
Generally, I don't change the way I'm investing.
Correct.
But मेरा game और tech VC का game बहुत अलग है. मैं power law में नहीं हिलता हूँ. I want 70 or 80% of my companies to succeed and each of them to give me 5 to 6 times return. तो मेरा फंड 5 to 6 टाइम्स करेगा. उनमें क्या है कि 10 कंपनीज में इन्वेस्ट किए, 1-2 कंपनीज ने 100 टाइम रिटर्न दे दिया तो उनका फंड 10 टाइम्स का हो गया और 8 टाइम्स का हो गया, राइट? दैट्स हाउ दे लुक एट इट. सो आई कैन नॉट टेक द लेवल ऑफ रिस्क दे टेक बिकॉज आई हैव टू हैव मोर सक्सेस नंबर्स. एंड जो मेरे सक्सेसेस है वो 100x नहीं होंगे. इफ आई कैन शो अ 10x ऑन अ कंपनी,
करेक्ट,
आई एम होम.
ऑन मल्टीपल कंपनीज.
इफ आई कैन शो, मीनिंग if I can show 5x on all my companies, I'm home.
Correct.
If one of those companies becomes 10x, it's a bonus for me.
Fantastic, yeah.
It's a massive bonus for me.
So now that we've come to the topic of how to make returns as a VC or an investor, हम थोड़ा सा we'll move towards that side of the thing. आपको अगले कुछ दशक के लिए 2030, 2047 तक के लिए इन्वेस्टिंग ट्रेंड्स किस तरफ जाते हुए दिख रहे हैं? Everybody is talking about AI. How do you really invest in an AI company in India? And how much of correlation will D2C and AI have? So I'd like to hear your views on this.
Because I think people ask me this question assuming that I will say that AI is overhyped, it's a fad, etc. all of that. Reality क्या है कि like it is part of our lives now.
Correct.
But a D2C company saying I'm AI based doesn't make sense, right? Can you use AI for search engine optimization? Yes. Can you use AI for supply chain automation? Yes. Can you use AI for better creative generation? Yes. But the fact that you have to build a high quality product and market it in a specific way, can you use AI to optimize your ads? Yes. So all of these things are back-end optimization. Now, मेरे लाइफ में क्या चेंज होता है? मेरी कंपनी थोड़े और एफिशिएंट हो जाते हैं. मैं भी AI यूज करता हूँ. मैं भी और चीजें कर सकता हूँ because of AI. I have a personal assistant in my pocket pretty much with AI. But can I invest in AI companies? The answer is no. Why can I not invest in AI companies? Right? People ask me, आप AI में क्यों नहीं invest कर रहे हो? यार हर AI company मेरे सामने जो आता है, it blows my mind. Why? Because I don't know enough.
Correct.
So कल मैं मेरे दोस्त के साथ बैठा था. He's a fintech founder in the US. And he told me, dude, have you personalized your ChatGPT? I said, what does that mean? He said, you go on your ChatGPT account, you click on your profile, and there's an option for personalization. So I said, उससे क्या होता है? He said, you can tell ChatGPT how you want ChatGPT to be with you. So I said, what do you mean? He said, ये मेरा personalization prompt देखो, and I don't remember exactly, but he said, he's put in that personalization prompt, I am a startup founder. You are my thought partner. I don't want you to be nice to me. I want you to be brutally honest to me. Nothing you give me should make me feel good about myself just to feel good about myself. Be critical and be ruthless with me. And so अभी जो responses आते हैं, they are very critical, right? So I said, for example, मेरे जो सब answers है ना, उसमें deep research करो. I don't want the first article that comes. Now this level of thing blew my mind. When I told him I don't know this, he said, भाई तू कहाँ रह रहा है, right? So I think the other thing that we need to think about the AI is all of us need to use it as an enabler. But अगर आप एक्सपर्ट नहीं हो, जैसे मैं डीप टेक में एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूँ, मैं स्पेस टेक में एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूँ, मैं फिनटेक में एक्सपर्ट नहीं हूँ, I have to invest in a fintech company to ask you, right? Because मुझे तो सब अच्छा लगता है.
Correct.
Because I'm not from the space, right? And when you think about like, जब मैं लोगों को बोलता हूँ कि मेरे Instagram videos AI से बनते हैं, people like go crazy like AI, use AI, your face comes with AI, you can talk with AI. अरे भाई ये $200 का सब्सक्रिप्शन है. It's a very simple AI model that I'm using, right? So I think ये काव्यार आपको देखना होगा कि if you're an expert, go ahead, invest. If you're not an expert, like you're going to lose lots of money.
Correct. So I think इसमें message ये important था कि you are doing what you understand more. You're doing what you understand best. So I think everybody should focus on focus their energies.
And there is massive FOMO, right?
Yeah. There's massive
FOMO.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of FOMO for crypto, right? Investing in crypto, investing in the blockchain. We remember that time, 21 to 23.
Correct.
Does it have applications? Of course it has applications. When I made my exit, Lots of people came pitching crypto ideas to me. So I told my dad, at least $10,000-20,000 तो हम Bitcoin में डाल देंगे यार. He said, what do you know? I said, कुछ नहीं. He said, I would rather you invest in one more startup and lose that money. But at least आपको पता है कि आप क्या कर रहे हो पैसे के साथ.
Absolutely.
अगर आप तुक्का लगा रहे हो, तो might as well go to the casino and do it.
Correct.
And you don't go to the casino, so don't go to the casino here.
Correct.
It's not like people have not made lots of money on crypto.
Yes, absolutely.
People have made lots of money.
But it's just something that
I don't know
it's
about
not
it.
your scene. It's not your...
The other thing he said is go and learn about it.
Correct.
Spend 2-3 months and come back to me and tell me what you know and why you are an expert to invest.
So I think your message is very clear. अगर आप कोई चीज़ में expertise रखते हैं या उसमें expertise बनाना चाहते हैं, you should follow that and then उसी में invest करिए या उसी में then make sure that you're doing it the right way. It's just not the spray and pray approach that will work over a long period of time. I've seen all your messages that you put on Instagram every night. A lot of it, you use AI, you mentioned. आप AI use करते हैं to give you ideas, to help you better your ideas. How much of, because you've also been D2C founder, कितना feedback से, customer feedback, follower feedback से, your idea sort of helps you?
Taking feedback is very important. But हमारे देश में advice free है.
Correct.
तो सबको देना है. Right? If I accepted all the feedback that I got, I would not be doing anything in life.
Correct.
Right? What I learned as a founder, which I've taken through my life, is take everything in from the left ear, process in your brain, and only act on what you think is relevant. Which means, मैंने एक वीडियो डाला था on Adidas ने 2023 में एक 999 रुपये का फैन जर्सी लॉन्च किया था क्रिकेट का. इसके पहले हमारे इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम में जर्सी 4,000, 5,000, 7,000 रुपये के थे. That's too expensive, right, for the layman to buy a jersey. I love sports. I spend a lot of money on sports. I buy the jersey. But when they launched the 999 jersey, I thought it was an outstanding move by Adidas to say कि यार अभी कस्टमर को 999 में इंडिया का जर्सी मिल रहा है. फैन जर्सी है, it's not the exact same, but it's original. And so my thesis or my hypothesis was the number of fake jerseys in the stadium will reduce. सब लोग जर्सी पहनते हैं, but mostly 200-300 रुपए के fake jerseys हैं.
Correct.
Number of fake jerseys will reduce. So I said in my reel, the delta between an original and a fake jersey has reduced because of the creation of the fan jersey. It's a great move by Adidas. Reel viral हुआ, 2-3 million views आ गए वो reel पे. Adidas ने comment किया, global page of Adidas saying great video etc. and share किया था. एक बंदे ने पिकअप किया कि you use the word delta instead of difference. Why use the word delta? Why can't you use simpler words? और फिर एक 100 comment का thread आया on you are the CEO of Delta, you are an educated South Bombay prick, you use these big words to confuse people, हिंदी में बात कर सकते हो कि नहीं बात कर सकते हो, I bet you don't know how to speak Hindi. ऐसे 100 negative comments आए वहाँ. Now my family got very offended. My wife is saying, have you read the comments? Honestly, I didn't read the comments. I didn't care, right? एक दो देखे, I thought people were having fun. I was like, let them have fun. I'm not going to delete the comments. I don't care if people want to say something bad about me, say it. If it's relevant, I'll take feedback. If it's not relevant, like this for me was not relevant. मैं ऐसे बात करता हूँ, ये टर्म मैं यूज करता हूँ. हमारे इन्वेस्टमेंट वाले डेल्टा इज अ नॉर्मल टर्म, मैंने यूज किया. ठीक है, मे बी सम पीपल डिडंट अंडरस्टैंड दैट टर्म, मे बी नेक्स्ट टाइम आई यूज द वर्ड डिफरेंट, बट मुझे ऐसे बुरा नहीं लगा कि मैंने ये वर्ड यूज किया, राइट? My brother called me saying, hey, are you okay? I saw all the comments on Instagram post. I said, भाई 3-4 million views आ गए, वो तो बहुत अच्छे, मैंने comments नहीं देखे. So I don't care. Now, there are a lot of people who care and get affected. I don't care. So I took nothing with that feedback. But I got a lot of feedback from my followers when I started making videos on Indian cricket. Saying, sir, you are not an expert on Indian cricket. You may be passionate about cricket, but we don't want to know about your view on how KL Rahul played in the Champions Trophy. Please stop. If you are saying there's a business opportunity in relation to cricket, we are fine. But Indian cricket team के बारे में इसने कैसा खेला और ये क्या कर रहा है, stop. IPL के analysis के बारे में हमें देखना नहीं है, हमें interest नहीं है. We follow sports people for that. अभी great example for my Dr. Vaidya's journey was हमने एक weight loss pack launch किया था. हमारे दुनिया में everybody wants to lose weight, but 82% of my customers are outside top 10 cities, and 70% of them did not speak English. So it's not the audience that you and me know. तो जब मैं Facebook comments पढ़ रहा था तो most of the comments on the weight loss pack के ads पे आ रहा था कि हमें weight gain करना है. आप weight loss क्यों बेच रहे हो? तो हमने weight gain pack launch किया. That was selling 4x of weight loss pack.
Oh wow.
So I said, wow, I'm so smart. I read the Facebook comments and I made a great product. Weight gain pack के comments में पढ़ रहा था तो लोग पूछ रहे थे कि अभी हमें muscle gain करना है. और हम वे प्रोटीन से डरते हैं, we want an Ayurvedic solution for muscle gain. We went back into R&D and developed an all natural Ayurvedic muscle gain product. That product called Herbo Build started selling 2,000 units a day on my website. It was the single largest product we ever created and was number one in mass and weight gain category above Enduramos on Amazon for years. I don't know if it's still number one, but in my time it was number one. Took the feedback from the customer, read the Facebook comments which everybody has access to and actioned it. And made a massive, that product was doing 50 crores a year.
Wow. Arjun, now going back to Dr. Vaidya's, in D2C, would it be fair to say, या तो चैंपियन प्रोडक्ट होना चाहिए या जो पर्सन जो फाउंडर है वो चैंपियन होना चाहिए? Either one of these things is very important according to you?
No, I think both things are important because अगर चैंपियन फाउंडर है और प्रोडक्ट बुरा है तो चैंपियन फाउंडर एंड द लेट रोहन मिर्चंदानी told me this, founder of Epica, he said we are smart sales people. हम एक बार कस्टमर को फूल कर सकते हैं, वो पैसा लेके प्रोडक्ट खरीदेगा. सेकेंड टाइम द कस्टमर हैज टू बाय, इफ द प्रोडक्ट डजंट डिलीवर इट्स डेथ, इट्स ओवर. एंड द इंडियन कस्टमर इज रूथलेस एंड मच स्मार्टर देन वी गिव द कस्टमर क्रेडिट. सो इफ यू डिलीवर अ सफिशिएंट प्रोडक्ट एक्सपीरियंस टू द कस्टमर, eventually they will hit back at you. They will go on Reddit and they will shame your brand. They will give you a 1-star review. And हम सबको पता है कि अगर 1-star review देना है तो हम 10 पैराग्राफ्स लिखते हैं. अगर 5-star review लिखना है तो हम नाइस ही लिखते हैं. Good, nice, good,
excellent
experience, thumbs up. But अगर negative experience है भाई, हम 10 मिनट देते हैं to write that negative experience, right? So all my founders say कि यार 1-star review में लोग इतना लिखते हैं, 5-star review में कोई नहीं लिखता है. But that's the reality, right? And so if your product doesn't deliver, even if you're a champion founder, you will fail. And we've seen it. So it's a time immemorial.
So एक constant effort चाहिए, champion product, and champion founder, champion product, champion founder.
I teach in D2C in a bunch of colleges. I tell them, your journey does not end when your product is launched. Constant iteration of product and improvement of product is important.
Correct.
So take the customer feedback. If you're a D2C brand, you get it directly to you and act on it.
Very interesting. So we'll talk more about the opportunities and trend cycles now. Every era has its own unique opportunities and own unique windows. For platforms to aggregators to fintech and now quick commerce, we've seen it all in the last 10-15 years. आप founders को कैसे सिखाते हैं और आप colleges में भी जाते हैं, तो how do you teach students, founders कि कौन सी opportunity window open है और कौन सी already close हो चुकी है?
You know, honestly, मैं पहले करता था कि every year I would write 5 big D2C trends, spaces you should look at, things you should do, etc. all of that. What I've realized today is कि यार आज I've invested in one company, right? The company is called Senses.
The t-shirt brand.
The t-shirt brand.
Yeah.
What is he selling? He's selling plain t-shirts, polos, full sleeve polos and pants. But it's the best quality product. I'm wearing his pants today.
Wow.
Is it a new product? Is it a new opportunity? No. But he's selling a white t-shirt and when you wear a white t-shirt, you're wearing for the whole day, right? अभी आपको अगर white t-shirt पहनना है तो आपको quality, comfortable, performance focused white t-shirt which you can wear to office, after office, for a dinner, then for a party, etc. All that. The same white t-shirt you can wear, right? तो वो 300-400 रुपए के जो नॉर्मली मिलती है white t-shirt वो 1500 रुपए में बेच रहा है और वो बिक भी रहा है, राइट? तो आई थिंक हमारे देश में अभी एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज हो रहा है कि कस्टमर्स हैव मूव फ्रॉम बीइंग प्राइस कॉन्शियस टू प्राइस वैल्यू कॉन्शियस. पहले हमारे कस्टमर्स डिस्काउंट ड्रिवन कस्टमर्स थे. अभी हमारे कस्टमर्स बोल रहे हैं कि अगर आप 80 रुपए के शैम्पू के लिए 300 रुपए चार्ज कर रहे हो तो मैं पे करने को तैयार हूं, बट आप मुझे समझा दो क्या वैल्यू दे रहे हो, राइट? एंड सो द कस्टमर इज सेइंग कि मैं अभी स्टैंडर्ड बैकपैक नहीं लूंगा, मैं मोकोबारा का बैकपैक लूंगा. दैट्स 3 times द प्राइस ऑफ अ स्टैंडर्ड बैकपैक, बट द लुक, द फील, द कंपार्टमेंट्स आर बेटर, सो आई विल बाय दैट बैकपैक. द कस्टमर सेइंग कि मैं नर्सरी से प्लांट नहीं खरीदना चाहता हूं, मैं उगाओ से प्लांट खरीदना चाहता हूं बिकॉज द क्वालिटी इज स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड एंड द प्लांट विल लिव फॉर लॉन्गर. तो आई विल पे 30% मोर और 50% मोर फॉर दैट प्लांट. आई हैव नो प्रॉब्लम. कस्टमर बोल रहा है कि अभी मैं जनरल एंटी डैंड्रफ शैम्पू नहीं लूंगा, मैं मॉक्सी के एंटी डैंड्रफ शैम्पू लूंगा. अभी कस्टमर बोल रहा हूं कि मैं जनरल फेस वॉश नहीं लूंगा, मैं अभी डीकंस्ट्रक्ट के विटामिन सी सीरम एनरिच्ड फेस वॉश लूंगा बिकॉज आई नो दैट इट डिलीवर्स सम वैल्यू टू मी एंड दीज थिंग्स मीन समथिंग टू मी. इंडिया में द कंज्यूमर अपॉर्चुनिटी इज सो एक्साइटिंग बिकॉज आई वुड से हमारे देश में ये पहला जमाना है जहां द मिडिल क्लास कस्टमर्स एक्चुअली बिहेविंग लाइक अ मिडिल क्लास कस्टमर, which means middle class customer is not buying the cheapest product in the market available. Middle class customer is saying अगर आप value दे रहे हैं तो I will pay, and we do this exercise in our office all the time, right? It's called RPI, Retail Price Index. What percentage above the mass product is the customer willing to pay for a better experience? Food mein it's the lowest. Food mein if you charge double, usually customers will not buy.
Correct.
Only households like Rajat's will buy, but my household will not buy that. My wife told me I'm not spending 3x on ghee. It doesn't matter. It's ghee, boss.
Correct.
I'm not going to. मैं घर पे बना लूँगी ghee. But in fashion, in lifestyle, in beauty personal care, even in health supplements, people are saying नहीं. जो standard whey protein मैं नहीं लूँगा, मैं whole truth का whey protein लूँगा because it's better and I'm having it every day. So opportunity is across the board. Competition is at its max, and so quality product with a quality story that cuts through the clutter is the opportunity today. But fashion में भी बनेगा, beauty में भी बनेगा, health and wellness में भी बनेगा, sports में भी बनेगा. सब जगह opportunities है.
And how much amount of passion is important to drive a very exciting business?
So I'll give you an example, right? I'm invested in a company called Ugao.
Yes.
Ugao is a plants and gardening company.
Absolutely.
That founder is the most passionate person in the world about plants. He loves plants, he lives for plants, he treats them like pet. He's a great R&D expert, etc. All of that. He just lives for plants. He built a fantastic business, more than 200 CR now. I'm also an investor in Deconstruct Skincare. She's a founder who loves her business. She loves her product, but she's not the most passionate skincare expert in the world.
Correct.
There may be influencers who care more about skincare than her, but she's passionate about building a high quality business. You get all kinds of founders.
Correct.
Is Ugao more successful than Deconstruct? I can't say so. But did I back Ugao? Yes. Did I back Deconstruct? Yes. So passion is important, but it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be the most passionate person in the world about that product.
Correct.
You have to be passionate about the business. And you get founders in all shapes and sizes. अभी लोग बोलते हैं कि अगर फाउंडर कैमरा फेसिंग नहीं है तो बिजनेस सक्सेसफुल नहीं हो सकता, राइट? बिकॉज देयर आर फाउंडर्स लाइक मी, देयर आर फाउंडर्स लाइक द शार्क्स एक्सेट्रा, दैट आर कैमरा फेसिंग. कैन यू नेम मी द फाउंडर, द ओनली फाउंडर इन इंडिया हु हैज फाउंडेड 3 unicorns simultaneously?
Is it Bhavesh Agarwal? No.
Supam Maheshwari,
Yeah.
founder of First Cry, Global Bees, and Express Bees.
Oh yes.
3 unicorns.
Correct.
Do you even know what Supam Maheshwari looks like?
No.
No one does.
Nobody. I don't think.
He'll never come in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I asked him once to be on my podcast. He wrote me an email saying, "Can we get on a call?" I got on a call with him. He said no. मैं सब नहीं करता भाई. I like you. You're a great person. Keep doing what you're doing. Maybe we can meet in person if I come to Bombay. I'm mostly in Pune. But नहीं करना है podcast. Thank you. Respectfully decline. सर नहीं करता हूँ. जब मैं कंपनी बेचूंगा, जब मैं रिटायर हो जाऊंगा तो मैं पॉडकास्ट ही करता रहूंगा. अभी नहीं करना है. मुझे बिजनेस पे फोकस करना है. Is it wrong to do a podcast? No. But does it suit him to not do it? Yes. And that's okay.
क्रिएटर एंड सेलेब ब्रांड्स, सेलेब लेड ब्रांड्स, ये बहुत बड़ा ट्रेंड बन रहा है. आपके हिसाब में इसमें क्या जेन्युइनली इज देयर अ ह्यूज मार्केट फॉर दिस? क्या ये टेम्पररी है, एक फिनोमिनन है, या बिकॉज वी हैव सीन अर्लियर सेलिब्रिटीज हैव कम विद ब्रांड्स इन इंडिया, दे हैव नॉट रियली डन वेल, बट वी हैव सीन सम outliers in the
first
US.
generation.
Yeah.
No, but even in India, HRX and K by Katrina were very successful brands.
Correct.
I think celebrity brands में मेरा बहुत interest है. Why? Because it solves your distribution problem.
Okay.
To get distribution without an audience is very difficult for a brand. You start from zero. Celebrities can solve that. What are 2 recipes or 2 ingredients that make the celebrity brand successful? And you've seen it with the recent successes of Underneath, which is Kusha Kapila's shapewear brand, Palmona's, Shraddha Kapoor's jewelry, silver jewelry, and now lab-grown diamonds brand, Hyphen, Kriti Sanon's beauty person care brand, Super You, I'm an investor, Ranveer Singh's protein snacking brand. Each of these brands have a celebrity that fits the brand. The celebrity brand fit is there, which I think unfortunately in 82 Degrees East with Deepika it was not there, right? So the celebrity fits the brand, they look organically the right fit for the brand, that's one. 2, behind each of these companies is an outstanding founder. Behind Palmona's is Pallavi and Amol, outstanding founders. Behind Super You is Nikunj, outstanding founder. Behind Hyphen is the entire team of M-Caffeine.
Correct.
And behind Underneath is Vimarsh Razdan, who's a textile expert, right? So the failures have been when the celebrities think कि हम brand चला लेंगे, हम business भी कर लेंगे. नहीं हो सकता है भाई. Your forte and your right to win is in something else.
Which is the
You have great top of funnel, you have great distribution, you can do great marketing, you can get great campaigns, but operations, logistics, supply chain, warehousing, retention, day-to-day performance marketing, website conversion rate optimization, कौन करेगा? If you're not able to do that, you're not able to solve for distribution, you're not able to get the product to the customer at the right time, it's going to fail. And so the right celebrity, the right operator is the recipe for success.
So we will see many more
many more failures and many more successes.
Interesting.
But I'm bullish on it.
Okay. So that's a good trend to watch out for.
And I've invested a large check in Super U, which I hope will do.
Absolutely, yes. एक अभी recent phenomenon देखा, lot of people are using the public platform, the social media platforms to thrash consumer brands, and they're sort of becoming, getting all their followers because they're getting the thrashing. Because of the thrashing, they're sort of growing. How much do you think this should affect a brand? A, and we'd like to discuss this more in detail with you. आपने कुछ examples देखे होंगे because you work so closely with so many brands.
See, there is a terrible trend of influencers thrashing brands without context. Unfortunately, I've heard of stories, and I know real stories, of competitor brands paying influencers to thrash the brand. It's happened with our portfolio company Deconstruct, where their sunscreen was thrashed by influencers, and we know for a fact that competitor brands have paid. Am I against people exposing labels? No. Revant, who's Food Farmer, is a very close friend.
Absolutely.
He's done some good work exposing some wrongdoings or some poor labels of FMCG companies, large FMCG companies in India. So I think that it's good. Having said that, 2 recent examples in food where it was, I thought, unfair to the brand and the founder. And look, at the end of the day, companies build businesses with lots of hard work, sweat, love and affection. And when you're cheating someone by putting some content about them that's negative, it's unfair. I remember in my Dr. Vaidya's journey, there was an influencer who reached out to us for a barter collaboration. We didn't do the barter collaboration with him. He bought my product, Herbo Build, and he threw it in the dustbin, and he made a video talking bad about the product. When I reached out to that person and I said, why do you do this? Can you please take it down? He said, pay me 3,000 rupees. That is absolutely terrible, right? It's like holding a brand at ransom.
Yeah.
The other stories I'd like to give you are Go Zero, right? So there's a famous large influencer who exposes labels who posted about Go Zero recently and said that there is a mismatch between the label and the actual
all ice cream brands, in fact.
All local zero sugar ice cream brands. I won't comment on companies I don't know as much about.
Correct.
I know about Go Zero. Now, can a company make a mistake? Yes. The company went ahead. I told the founder, and as a board we told the founder, go and get it tested again. Every product is tested. Go and get it tested again at the most reputed lab, which is Equinox Labs, where the founder sits on the board of FSSAI as well as an advisor, etc. All of that. The lab report from Equinox Labs has said that the sugar content is 2.47 or 2.49 grams. The label says 2.5 grams. It's not added sugar, it's naturally occurring sugar in milk. The video says it's more than 7.5 grams. Had the product been only lactose and only milk, still it would not be 7.5 grams. Now, my problem is not that the influencer has gone and done a test. The influencer has gone and done a test. That lab has given them the test. I assume that the lab is an honest lab, etc. All of that. Now, when this happens, and then the founder goes and does a test at another reputed lab and tries to engage the influencer in a conversation, the influencer does not respond. And then 100 influencers see that video getting lots of views and copy that video without any basis or any research of their own. That is very, very unfair, and it's a very dangerous trend happening in our ecosystem where it's just for views, you post absolutely anything, right? And unfortunately in India, there is this whole story of, there is this love for seeing a hero rise and then fall.
Correct.
Right? It happens in our sports, it happens with Bollywood, it happens in business, and it's happening in this world as well. Lotus Biscoff is a recent example. Right? All of us have seen that video of people saying that this foreign company has created a 300 rupee product for foreign markets and created a 10 rupee product for India, and it's extremely unethical. Now, I did some research to see कि किया क्या है company ने, right? The 300 rupee or 3 pound or 2.9 pound pack that sells abroad or 2.9 euro pack that sells abroad is a 250 gram pack. The 10 rupee pack in India is a 25 gram pack. So you have to compare 300 to 10. You can't compare 300 to 10. You have to compare 30 to 10.
Absolutely.
Right? So 30 to 10 is the right comparison. And actually with purchasing power parity, an Indian product is usually 1/3 or 1/4 the price. So it's pretty much actually a similar price. That's one. Number two, the influencers have bashed it saying कि यार India में 6.2 gram का cookie बेच रहे but abroad 12.5 gram का cookie बेच रहे. I validated with the company and I saw the company's press release. They sell a 12.5, a 7.5 and a 6.2 gram cookie. And India, they've just chosen to have the 6.2 gram cookie. So it's one of the variants abroad that they're selling in India. That's number two. And number three, the company has said they are selling the exact same product. The labels are different because the labeling regulations are different in each country. So what is called X in India has to be called Y as per that country, but the product is exactly the same. Now, was it fair for one influencer to bash it and then 1,000 influencers to put the same post without the information? No. And the brand has massively suffered. And it's a campaign that smear campaign, it's hard to come back from, right? Because you believed it, I believed it as well. When I read the brand's press release, I said, oh, this is what happened. But because 20 people posted on social media, it's terrible, I was also thinking of making a video saying the same thing. Then I didn't because I didn't have the research.
Correct.
So it's very dangerous. And even in sport, you see a lot of videos that are AI generated of people saying certain things which they've not said.
Correct.
So we're living in very dangerous times where misinformation is rampant in our world, right? And we have to be careful.
I was thinking when we were talking, how do you regulate this? It will be very difficult to regulate this, right?
Yeah, at least in finance, they're doing a decent job of regulating it because if you're not a SEBI registered investment advisor, you cannot give investment advice.
So we are brokers and we see the kind of regulation curtail or thing on us.
I think there has to be some regulation on influencers as well.
Then people will scream that it's like freedom to speech, rights to freedom on speech.
I think without fact, making videos of wrong facts is wrong.
Then there should be some heavy penalty or something like that.
Opinion videos is no problem, right? Correct. I don't like the way this product tastes.
That's fine.
Okay, say you don't like the way this product
tastes. It's okay.
I like the way this product tastes. I like it because of XYZ reasons. Okay. But this product is wrongly putting XYZ on the label. If you don't have fact backing it, can't do it. Because that hook gets you views. And you know how the algo works, right? If you view the first 3 seconds of a video, then that video will get a lot of views.
Yeah. So, Arjun, while जो आप social media में बोलते हो, for D2C, the advocacy. In fact, today in our conversation, softly you have marketed all the brands that A, you have invested in, and B, you like. So it's not just companies that you're investing in. I see you as a big supporter for brands, people, founders who are really doing some good work over here. So in a way, you're really working for Bharat 2030, Bharat, Viksit Bharat 2047. But I think a lot of, I find it, I think I must acknowledge that your emphasis on active lifestyle, on healthy lifestyle, on ensuring that a large part of your day and active routine focuses on health and fitness. I would like you to dwell on it. Marathon, I've seen you participate in that competition that I don't know the name. Evidently, I don't know the name. and then of course...
I'm not going to let that stay for too long.
No, I'm going to take you. I'm going to work on it. And then, paddle, you're a big advocate of an active sports. So please talk about it. I'd like to hear about it.
I grew up with asthma, right? So as a child, I wanted to play sport. I love sport, but I couldn't play sport because health permit nahi kar raha tha mujhe. When I got done with asthma, I grew up as a unfit kid because I had a lot of steroids growing up, and then I got back to fitness. What I realized that a healthy body leads to a healthier mind. जब मैं बहुत stressed हूँ, जब मैं clearly decisions नहीं ले पाता हूँ, I go for a 5-kilometer run. When I go for a 5-kilometer run, and by the way, it doesn't have to be at the pace that I run. It can be at the pace that my friends. I run a 5-kilometer in 5 minutes a kilometer. My friends run it. One of my very close friends run it 7 minutes a kilometer. What it does for him, the same thing it does for me, right? So that clarity of thought, that endorphin secretion that makes the day go positive is really, really helpful for me. If I do not work out, my day goes bad, right? Now, what has active lifestyle given me other than being healthy, etc.? You be healthy for your family, be healthy for your kids. Everybody says that, right? I also created an IP called Pickle and Pitch, where I invite founders to play a game of pickleball with me and then pitch their business. Why? Because यार ये बोर्ड रूम में, कैफे में, जूम कॉल में पिच बहुत बोरिंग होता है. अगर आप जूम का पिच करते हो, आपको भी पता है कि जब वो बात कर रहा है और मोनोलॉग कर रहा है और प्रेजेंटेशन चल रहा है, आप 10 चीज़ कर रहे हो. आप ईमेल कर रहे हो, आप लिंक्डइन चेक कर रहे हो, आप व्हाट्सएप चेक कर रहे हो, you're checking on your family, etc., all of that, right? But on the pickleball court, I learned so much about that person. Who is that person? How will they deal with pressure? Are they sportsmanlike or non-sportsmanlike? Are they putting in the effort? Will they fight when they're down? These are all characteristics of entrepreneurs you need, right? So I think for me, active lifestyle has changed the person I am. I am happy that I've inspired many to do the same. Like I used to put my running screenshots कि आज कितना भागा, क्या टाइम पे भागा. And I would get replies from founders. I still get replies from founders saying, "ये मैंने किया आज आपके देख के." You did it. I was doing a high rocks race in Delhi. It was the second ever high rocks in India. I think it was somewhere around June, July last year. I was finishing my 5th station and starting my 5th kilometer run. And this one Sardar guy stops me. He's like, "Arjun Vaidya, right?" So I said, "Yeah." He said, "भाई मैंने तेरे LinkedIn पे ये high rocks के बारे में देखा था जब आपने बॉम्बे में किया था. I got inspired. I'm doing the race right now because of you."
Wow.
And I think that movement towards health, fitness, active lifestyle, and it doesn't have to be the level that I do. It's okay. My dad goes for a walk every day. I'm happy he goes for a walk. He doesn't have to run a marathon. It's okay. But if you're able to do that, you're able to get so much more efficiency at your workplace.
So it creates a high performance culture also.
It creates a massively high performance culture, and it helps you strive for more. That attitude towards winning, the attitude towards excellence, the attitude towards performance, that translates in every part of your life.
Correct.
I remember Yashish Dahiya of Policy Bazaar saying that I go for a swim every day and I swim fast because that puts me in the right frame of mind to go and kill it at work.
Lovely. So that's so much to learn today and such an interesting conversation. Arjun, your last words for founders, young founders that are building new companies, founders that are sort of thinking out of box, or founders who are not thinking out of box but doing something very well and executing something very well.
आप ये podcast देखेंगे, आप बहुत podcast देखेंगे. There's lots of noise on social media. Cut the noise.
Correct.
Don't think too much. Don't philosophize too much. Excel sheets और Notion docs पे बहुत काम मत करो. The best way to start is to start. Once you start, you know what customers think. You know what paying customers do. Survey के customers, focus group के customers हमेशा झूठ बोलते हैं. Because free में product मिला.
Correct.
If I ask you to pay for something, your feedback's going to be very different. So the best way to start is to start, and the best time to start is now. That's my advice.
Superb. Thanks for your lovely words of wisdom. Thanks for spending the time. Thanks for doing this in Hindi so that everybody knows that two sober kids can talk in Hindi. and thank you so much, Jito, Jito Incubation Innovation Foundation, and our sponsor for this, this entire JIIFcast, Blue Sky FinTech, for putting this together. Lovely time spending with you, Arjun, and hope to see you soon again.